stop everything you're doing right now. What if I told you that everything you know about death is a lie? Imagine an ancient hidden text that claims to map out exactly what happens the moment you draw your last breath. A text so profound, it doesn't just talk about the afterlife, it guides you through it. But there's a twist. Miss one moment in this journey, and you risk eternal entrapment. Today, you're about to unlock the Tibetan Book of the Dead, a sacred guide crafted over 1,000 years ago, written to take us to the edge of existence and back. Are you ready to confront the ultimate truth? Think about this. Despite all our modern technology, despite all our scientific advancements, one question remains as elusive as ever. What happens after we die? The truth is, we're no closer to understanding it than the people of ancient Tibet. And maybe that's why this book still holds such power, why it still captures imaginations across the world. It dares to answer life's biggest question. Over centuries, this text has drawn the interest of monks, mystics, and even scientists. Why? Because it makes a revolutionary claim. Consciousness doesn't end when our bodies die. Instead, it goes on a journey through unseen realms, each stage offering profound possibilities for liberation or rebirth. Here's where things get even stranger. These ancient descriptions match up with modern accounts of near-death experiences. People who have come back from clinical death often talk about a brilliant light, about meeting spiritual beings, about feeling a profound peace. Could it really be a coincidence? Or are we glimpsing something about the very fabric of consciousness itself? Imagine the shocking realizations of this. What if these teachings could unlock insights into our minds, our awareness, the very essence of who we are? What if studying this ancient text could help us understand the reality we live and how we perceive it in ways we never thought possible? The potential here is staggering, linking ancient spiritual wisdom with today's cutting-edge explorations of consciousness. But here's the twist. The true power of the Tibetan Book of the Dead isn't just in its description of death. It's what it can teach us about life. By daring us to face death, to understand that everything is temporary, it challenges us to live with a sense of purpose, clarity, and compassion that most of us never fully realize. It's not just a guide for the dying, it's a wake-up call for the living. As you hear this, you might feel a mix of awe and fear. That's exactly the reaction it was meant to provoke. So, I invite you to keep an open mind as we dive deep. Because to truly understand this ancient wisdom, we need to explore its origins, and the visionary master who brought it into the world. Are you ready to meet the extraordinary figure behind this sacred knowledge? Let's begin. What if I told you that the Tibetan Book of the Dead isn't just for the dying? What if it's a roadmap designed for anyone navigating the profound transitions of life? At the heart of this extraordinary teaching lies the concept of the bardo. In Tibetan Buddhism, a bardo isn't just a state between death and rebirth. It's any transitional phase where everything familiar dissolves, opening a doorway to profound transformation. Think about it. How many times in your life have you found yourself suspended between what was and what's yet to be? Those moments of uncertainty, those times of change and potential. Each one is a bardo. Now here's where the Tibetan Book of the Dead, also known as the Bardo Thodol, goes deeper. It reveals not one, but three major bardos, each representing a crucial stage in consciousness, offering unique challenges and opportunities for growth. Are you ready to explore these hidden realms? First, we enter the initial bardo, the moment of death itself. But don't think of it as an ending. Instead, imagine a blinding flash of pure consciousness, a moment of absolute clarity, where the deepest truths of existence are revealed. Then comes the second bardo, the bardo of visions. Picture yourself surrounded by breathtaking visions, both peaceful and terrifying, swirling around you in a divine dance. But here's the twist. These aren't external forces. We will come back to that later. Finally, we enter the third bardo, the threshold of rebirth. Imagine your consciousness, stripped of the physical, standing at the edge of new life, where every thought, every desire shapes the reality of your next incarnation. And here's where the Tibetan Book of the Dead offers a revolutionary truth. You don't have to wait until death to experience these bardos. Every day of your life contains these transitions, each one an opportunity for spiritual awakening. That sense of disorientation when you're caught between dreams and waking. A mini moment of death. Those rare moments of clarity when you're fully immersed in creating something, time dissolving. You're touching the edge of the bardo of visions. And every time you stand at a life-altering choice, weighing different paths, you're experiencing your own bardo of rebirth. And now, as we stand on the threshold of this ancient wisdom, we're ready to venture even deeper. What actually happens in that pivotal moment when life slips away? Brace yourself, because we're about to step into the heart of the first bardo, the moment of death, where the ultimate opportunity for liberation awaits. Picture this. You're standing on the edge of everything you've ever known. In front of you is a light so brilliant, so all-encompassing, that it seems to hold the secrets of existence itself. Behind you are the echoes of the life you've just left behind, dissolving into a blur. This is the moment of death, the place where Tibetan wisdom and the latest insights from near-death research converge. Are you ready to uncover what lies beyond that dazzling threshold? In this extraordinary instant, Tibetan Buddhism tells us, death is not just a medical event. It's an incredible doorway, a divine threshold leading to liberation or rebirth. Imagine that moment. As your final breath slips away, your heartbeat fades, and your physical senses fall silent. But your consciousness, freed from its earthly bounds, is more alive than ever. This is the gateway to unimaginable possibilities. The ancient texts call this the clear light, a blinding, brilliant radiance that shines as the purest essence of mind itself. This light, Tibetan wisdom teaches, is not an illusion or a comforting hallucination. It's the truest reality, the ultimate nature of everything you've ever known. In this moment, you're given a rare chance to see the universe as it really is, without the filters of everyday life. And here's where the stakes soar. If you can recognize this light as your own true essence, your own awareness, you can achieve ultimate liberation in a single instant. Imagine the possibility, breaking free from the cycle of life and death, attaining a state of absolute freedom beyond anything we can conceive. But this moment is as fleeting as it is powerful. The experience of the clear light lasts only an instant before it fades. even frightening. Instead of recognizing it as their own nature, they perceive it as an external, unknown force. And with this fear comes retreat, pulling the consciousness deeper into the realms of the bardos, moving away from enlightenment and towards rebirth. Think about the hidden truths of this teaching. It suggests that at the very end of life, in that final instant, you are presented with a last opportunity to reach enlightenment, a chance that is perhaps more powerful than any other moment in existence. It's the ultimate test of awareness, one that even the most advanced spiritual practitioners train their entire lives to face. Can you confront your fears, your anger, your insecurities, without letting them control you? This is the path to liberation, recognizing that all these forces are projections of your mind, reflections of who you are. But there's a warning here too. For those who fail to recognize these beings as their own projections, the experience can be terrifying. The mind, unable to grasp its own nature, becomes trapped in its projections, mistaking its own creations for external threats. It's like being lost in a nightmare of your own making. And this is where the stakes rise even higher. If you don't recognize these projections as your own mind, you risk descending further into cycles of fear, delusion, and rebirth, bound by the very attachments and aversions you couldn't face. The second bardo is a revelation, an unveiling of the self at its most raw and intense. It's a divine mirror, showing you what lives within. This is a chance, a powerful opportunity to confront and transform, to see yourself without filters, to embrace all parts of your mind. But if you fail to recognize this truth, if you retreat in fear, the journey will only grow darker. So ask yourself, are you ready to see your soul laid bare? Can you face the divine mirror and accept everything that appears? Because the next step plunges even deeper, where choices made here will shape the very nature of your existence. Now imagine you're drifting in a formless sea. The life you knew is gone, yet something pulls you forward, a force as magnetic as gravity, drawing you toward a new reality. You've entered the bardo of rebirth, the third stage in the journey beyond death. In this realm, your every thought, every unresolved emotion, every karmic imprint becomes the guiding force determining your next life. Your consciousness, stripped bare, is now a magnet, pulling in the elements that will shape your future existence. The stakes couldn't be higher. The next chapter of your soul is about to be written, and it's written by the essence of who you are. This isn't a passive drift through the afterlife. It's an intense, chaotic process of creation. Every choice, every desire, every hidden fear you've carried now comes to the surface, generating the reality that awaits you. In the bardo of rebirth, there are no filters, no escape. You are both the painter and the canvas, crafting the blueprint for your rebirth. This is the realm where karma takes on tangible form, drawing you toward the life you're destined to enter, based on everything you've done and everything you've yet to resolve. Picture yourself surrounded by a swirl of visions, faces, landscapes, even entire worlds, each a potential path for your soul. These aren't random images, they're the sum total of your inner state. If you've cultivated kindness, self-awareness, and wisdom, the visions may be bright, inviting, leading you toward a life filled with opportunity. But if fear, anger, or attachment dominate, the visions take on a darker, more tumultuous form. Each potential rebirth pulls at you, tugging on the invisible threads of karma, drawing you toward the life you're most aligned with. This isn't a test imposed by some outside force. This is the mirror of your own mind, showing you the culmination of your actions, intentions, and desires. Here's where it gets even more intense. The choices states you cling to directly influence your rebirth. Your mind becomes a divine compass, aligning with the realm that resonates most with your current state. Imagine the clarity, or lack of it, as a vortex of emotions and memories spins around you, pulling you toward one life or another. Can you find the calm within, the center of clarity that will guide you toward liberation rather than entrapment? Or will you be swept away by your own unresolved karma, bound for another cycle of birth and death? Now consider this. The visions you encounter in the bardo of rebirth aren't just distant images. They are doorways, portals into realms that vibrate with the energy of your mind. Each vision reflects the intensity of the emotions you've carried in life, the fears, attachments, and aspirations that you may have left unresolved. It's like a reel of all your lives, a cinematic glimpse into possible futures, each a reflection of the karmic weight you carry. And at the center of each doorway lies a question. Will you walk through, or will you step back, seeing the path with awareness and intention? This bardo holds a stark truth. You don't consciously choose a new life in the way you might pick out a new pair of shoes. It's your accumulated karma, every action, thought, and intention that acts like a gravitational force, guiding you toward a life that matches your soul's current frequency. And while your conscious mind may not be steering, there remains a glimmer of choice, a sliver of control. If you can maintain clarity, a calm awareness, you might still influence the outcome. If you can remain detached, recognizing every vision as a product of your mind, you might transcend the pull altogether. In Tibetan Buddhism, this process isn't just about an afterlife belief. It's a reminder of how our actions matter now, in this life. What if every act of kindness you perform, every moment of mindfulness, is shaping not just this life, but countless lives to come? The third bardo forces us to confront a profound truth. We are constantly creating the karma that will shape our soul's journey. Our lives are interconnected, each decision rippling forward, affecting not just today, but eternity. But here's a question. If you're trapped in patterns of fear, anger, or attachment, how do you break free? Tibetan Buddhism teaches that through mindfulness, meditation, and conscious living, you can transform the very energy that propels you forward. It's not just about trying to be good or avoiding bad actions. It's about understanding your mind deeply, seeing the root causes of your actions, and addressing them with clarity. The more awareness you bring to each thought, the less likely you are to be swept up in the turbulent currents of the bardo of rebirth when the time comes. The bardo of rebirth teaches that karma isn't a punishment or a reward. It's simply a law of the universe, a reflection of our own minds projected onto the fabric of reality. In this sense, every moment of awareness you cultivate in life is a step toward liberation, a way to guide yourself toward a future of wisdom and clarity. This third bardo reveals the ultimate lesson. The power of your mind to create reality isn't confined to life or death. It's a process happening every second, shaped by every choice you make.